We just started with a very brief John Philip Sousa march called The Thunderer, and in that piece it introduced 16th notes, rapid tonguing, it introduced high-range clarinet playing, it introduced the main theme and a counter melody done in the flutes and clarinets, which is very challenging because they have a lot of difficult fingerings to do, using in the clarinets the right and left little fingers. We also have, on this concert for the first time, some alto saxes. They started just a little bit after the first of the year and have worked very hard. They switched over from clarinet to alto sax, and they're doing an excellent job. And so that was The Thunderer. And Mr. Gott is going to come out now, and he's going to be conducting a piece called Hill and Gully Rider, and he'll give you a little bit of information about that.
It's a little tough to hear back there. Did he mention the word syncopation yet? Okay, I'll get to do that. I just want to thank you. I've really enjoyed this year working with your son or daughter, sometimes both, and just really enjoying them. They really have progressed, and I'm sure that you hear that, and that's from their hard work and your support, which is terrific, and really appreciate that. And I think that the hard work and efforts are showing here. Hill and Gully Rider, there's two reasons we're doing this piece. It does introduce some new concepts. One of them is syncopation. Syncopation is accenting the weak part of the beat with length, which means absolutely really, well, nothing, does it? But it does when you hear this rhythm, da-da, da-da. And that's a challenge to do for a few reasons. One, as you've noticed, they're working very hard on this, not heard but seen. And this and da-da, da-da, they don't work together. And that's what syncopation is about. When their foot is up, they're having that long note. And you think, well, that sounds pretty, well, that's pretty easy. They've worked very hard on it and made it sound easy. The second thing is it also introduces some new instruments and new ranges as well. But in our percussion section, we have some more Latin American instruments that are added, and I think you'll hear that. So I hope you enjoy Hill and Gully Rider.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. I probably look like an unfamiliar face to many of you. My name is Steve Briggs, and I am student teaching with Dave Gott this semester. I'm originally from Central Michigan University, and originally from Grand Ledge, so I am from the area, and it's just been an absolute pleasure and a delight to work with all these fine young musicians over the course of the last 13 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the rest of our time together. They have worked incredibly incredibly hard and have grown so much over this past semester, at least from what I've seen, of course, the course of the year. And I just wanted to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity of welcoming me into this program and giving me the opportunity to work with your children. So thank you so much for that opportunity. Thank you again. With that, we're going to be performing a rondo, and the challenge in this piece is to pass along the melody between the different instrument sections. It's very common when we go into a technique rehearsal to be working on the melody as one section. And in this piece, the challenge is going to be backing off when other sections have the melody, and when they have the melody, to come to the front and shine. So here's rondo.
You just met Mr. Briggs. I also have a student teacher from Michigan State. His name is Mike Hebert, and he's been working with the sixth grade band in the trumpet class and the trombone class and baritone class. He also worked a few rehearsals with them. He was not able to be here tonight to conduct because there's a required CPR training that the student teachers have to take as part of their certification to be teachers, and that was offered tonight. And so it was a required thing through MSU, so he had to be there. So he really would have liked to have been here to conduct, but I would just like you to know that there was another person that is working with the groups as well. We're going to continue on with a piece that is normally played by a seventh grade band, and that's not unusual for a sixth grade band to do, because as they progress throughout the year, we challenge them with more and different types of music. So the next two pieces that we do are of the level that a seventh grade band would do probably for their first concert of the year. And this is called Buena Vista.
Our last piece, you'll just want to know that after we're done with it, there's actually some really important information we want to give you after we're all done. So our last piece is really not the end, just so you know. I would like to bring Mr. Briggs back out just for a moment. He's looking very sharp tonight, and this says just a little bit about him, and I'm not kidding when I say this. Just been a pleasure to work with. He works harder than... He just works extremely hard. I almost said, well, you know what I almost said. He works very, very hard, very committed to the students, and he's here tonight and just would like to give him a big thank you, and I'm sure the students would. So thank you for all of your hard work. And our last piece of the evening is First Year Blues. And I know that you know about the blues and all of the fun things that it brings and how that belongs in our American history. But we've been learning just a little bit about that. And I'll tell you what, we've also been learning how to play as an ensemble again. These students have put this together in 3 48-minute, 49-minute rehearsals. And just so proud of their accomplishments. But this is called First Year Blues, and hope you enjoy it.
Mr. Gott and myself would just like to make you aware of an opportunity that's being offered by the Michigan State University School of Music and the Community Music School. Every year they sponsor a 5-day band camp for middle school kids on the campus of Michigan State in the music building. And we have some information here on the stands right over there and right over here. It is, as I mentioned, a 5-day camp, Monday through Friday. The tuition cost of the camp is $170, which for a music camp or any kind of camp nowadays is fairly reasonable, considering the cost of both Blue Lake and Interlaken. The schedule, the band camp begins at 9 a.m. in the morning and ends at 3 in the afternoon. A typical day would be from 9 to 10:15. They would have a band rehearsal where they would meet all the different students in the bands. There are two bands, a green band and a white band. And they would start working on music they'd never seen before, and within a period of 5 days, they'd pull it all together and have a concert in the Great Hall of the Wharton Center on Friday. And this is really a cool opportunity for these guys. 10:25 to 11:20, there's various music classes and recreational activities run by the university. 11:30 to 12:15 is the best time of the day, which is lunch. 12:20 to 1:20 is a sectional, meaning that they will go with people from the university instructors with their individual instruments, and they will get some lessons on how to improve their playing, as well as work on some of the individual parts to put the concert together. And from 1:30 to 2:50 is a final band rehearsal. The concert, Friday, July 21st at 7 p.m. in the Great Hall. There's an application form here. There's a medical release form and a medical treatment authorization form that needs to be filled out. The application form I've already signed because I would not be afraid to recommend anybody for this camp. So you don't have to see me or Mr. Gott for a signature for that if you're interested. And on the back page, this is a separate form. This does not go back to Michigan State, but this is from the Hazlitt Band Boosters. The Hazlitt Band Boosters have set aside $1,000 in scholarship money for offsetting camps like this. So there's a postmark date of Friday, June 9th, 2006. If you send this information into Michigan State fairly soon, they will send back an acceptance saying your child has been accepted, and they will send some music that they need to prepare for a little bit of an audition so they can place them in either the green band or the white band. With that, if you make a photocopy of that acceptance letter and turn it back in with this by Friday, June 9th, 2006, mail it to the post office box here, they will send you a rebate check toward the $170. Now, they will take the $1,000 and divide it equally among all the people that turn in an application. So if only 10 people turn in an application, then they'll take that $1,000 and divide it equally among those 10. If 20 turn it in, they'll divide that up. So there's a little bit of relief here from the tuition cost. These applications are on the stands on both sides here. One of the other things that Mr. Gott and I would like to do is to thank all the parents and all the kids that participated in the MAC night. It was another great activity for them. The MAC people, I think that was the 10th year we've done that. They always say Hazlitt kids can come back anytime. And they said, we don't say that about every group. So I really appreciate the work that the parents did, and if you chaperoned and you were there, you know how good a time that the kids had, especially the biggest kid of all, Mr. Gott. He was playing basketball and everything else out there. So thank you again for coming this evening, and if you'd like one of those forms, they're available free of charge. So thank you.
Make sure you take everything with you. Don't leave anything on